'Twas the weekly video before Christmas, and that once again looms, as we have the second rhyming edition and episode of Weird Mind Newsroom. I've come back again with a rhyming class, so to hope and glee, to talk all new releases, trailers and news that you will see. So let's not waste time with mass details like it's Wikipedia. Let's get into the rhyming episode and talk about all things of media.
You're a colourful bunch.
The first new release is so fast he's hard to see, but the iconic blue blur making a triumphant return to the big screen, as his new adventure pits the forces of power and speed, and it's a guarantee, as we have the release this week of Sonic the Hedgehog Free. The plot will see Sonic and his little family team be tasked to stop Shadow and his nefarious new scheme, but when his power is too strong, like his experiment on a long robo trip, Sonic and friends will have to make a pact and team up with Dr. Robotnik. Reception to this tale is very well praised, with heart, humor and action that will leave family and fans feeling all kinds of amazed. And with a fourth title confirmed too, it's time to see soon, as in cinemas now if you want to live and learn too. The second new film is one that can be an easy mistake, but this is not a nature documentary, but rather a Disney live-action remake, as we return to the Pride Lands where all the animals talk and sing, as we receive the newest title of Mufasa, the Lion King. The story this time is a tale that is wise and old, as it tells the rise of a king, as it was foretold. An orphaned cub who found a family and a brother in hope, who soon both go on a journey to a new land to provide so many in their lives a sense of hope. Reception to this one is a little more mixed, as it may seem Disney might be up to their usual tricks. While the visual, story and voice work were praised, many elements of comedy, cutaways, and if this was really necessary, were points that were raised. But if you always wondered about the legend and grew to be how, then you can return to the circle of life by seeing it in cinemas now. Now on a TV series for a holiday treat with many new stories from various universes, so please take a seat as we journey once more to the vast lands with a multiverse twist, as we seek and ponder the question all about what if. This new final season will see more alternative stories that we can all watch and see, while being overlooked by the Watcher, who is an all-powerful being. Now so far no new review has been given nor received, but if it likes of the first two with interesting stories, then we could be all in good hands in the case to be relieved. So if you hope to see how this all overarching story will complete, it is now on Disney Plus with a new episode each day as a bit of a festive treat. And the last new release is giving us a scary new scheme, as you are heading into space where no one can hear you scream, as a new VR horror is about to be possibly enhance the immersion, as we have received the new game title of Alien Rogue Incursion. The game will have you play as Zula Hendrix, a colonial marine who has found herself on some weird deep space eccentrics, as you take on a mission on a planet that may be labelled as a dwarf, that will soon have you survive against facehuggers and the ever-dreaded xenomorphs. Reception on this title has been modestly praised, with a strong starting point present for a horror VR to provide scares and to be amazed. So if you want to return to the franchise and try out something new, you could play it on PC, MetaQuest, and the PSVR 2. And now there is no more media I can add to these pieces, cause that is all we have for this week's new releases. On the first of the trailers is the first of two franchise returns, with this one providing so much new knowledge and experience is still left to learn, with so much skill and experience all the way down to the last seconds, as we have the newest trailer for the return of Karate Kid Legends. The film will see some characters for fans of both sides, as the characters of the original and the remake have returned and soon worlds will collide, as they come together to train a young outcast new prodigy, and will see them teach him the ways of the old and new with their own forms of karate ideology. Personal take on this series as a whole, which I feel a bit mixed to it all. I can tell to some they put in a lot of heart and soul. Now in all sense I can see the appeal with the series after the remake returning the franchise back to heel. Now seeing these legends return once again may prove this series still kicks and rises up to the mend. But we shall see how this all goes and see to defend and get dirty, as the film will kick its way into cinemas next year on May 30. Our next new trailer is taking dip into sci-fi for an adaptation for an acclaimed book, so the anticipation may be very high, as two acclaimed directors are back for hopefully something visually great, as we have the trailer for the Russo's new Netflix film of The Electric State. Set in alternate 1994, it's sees a small robot with a message for a girl with something that might help her. She has been searching far and wide for her long lost brother, and with the knowledge they go on the journey to help one another. They travel across the lands to the ruins of robot uprising, a form of technology that many people have long since been despising. Soon they meet others and form a strange unlikely crew, and with the help and hope of one another, they will make a promise and get each other through. So on my thoughts of this trailer, I find the concept and visuals very pleasing, and could be something that could be worth a little bit of appeasing. There is a slight little hiccup that I have a little bit of an unused, and that is the case of the choice of the cast seem a little bit too overused. But I guess over time my thoughts and opinions may soon transfer, but we'll see by the release of this film in March for it all to occur. The third trailer for the week is a story based on a weird concept and lore, so it must be the case that this film comes to us from the studio of A24, as it seems to be the case of another strange animal affair that may be a lot more intense than a cocaine-induced bear, cause life will bite you back like a sharp pointy horn, as we have a trailer for the new film of Death of a Unicorn. The film sees a father and daughter heading off to a mountain retreat, where on the way they hit a creature and make it accidentally deceased. When they arrive, the father's boss will take the creature and sample the genes, and learn of its great powers and decides to use it for nefarious means. But when they don't know is that they have altered another beast, and soon another terror, bloodshed, and mythical powers will be unleashed. So the concept and idea is something that I'm interested in a lot, and there's some unique take and a form of so much interesting creativity and whatnot. As a creature could be something that could be really truly feared, and getting something like from A24, it may even get crazy and totally weird. For now, at best keep vigilant and avoid the creature to stay alive, as the film will open into cinemas sometime in 2025. The last trailer for the week is the big one of its best, a character so iconic as much as the symbol on his chest, as we have started to see the ideals of the James Gunn DC plan, and as after all this time we have now finally gotten the first trailer for the new film of Superman. The film will follow the hero as he learns to balance his heritage and build his humanity, and protect the general public from any sense of calamity. With love, a career, and so many other heroes making it seem like a much bigger concerning scope, the Man of Steel will learn to rise up to it all and become the true symbol of hope. So it is true to be said that we've had a few different adaptations, with each different version having its fair share of admirations. So far from the trailer, I thought that all of this looks really cool, and I'm invested and intrigued to see what else will shine through. While I can say I have some concerns on level and scope, for the past I have trusted Gunn, so it gives me a fair sense of hope. Let's see and pray for this film that this does fly high when the film soars into cinemas from the 11th of July. So that is all the studios and editors could tailor, as this brings us to the end of this week's new trailers. So on the first of two news stories that I have for this week to share is a brief little update on a little bit of some superhero affair. As we delve on some of a narrative that over time continue to be unfurled, we shall take a return to the area of the grimy criminal underworld. As just this week we have some good news we received, and this comes to us from the visionary director of Matt Reeves, as he has sat down to discuss about his past and recent smash hits that he did with Variety and with actor and first-time director Zoe Kravitz. He announced that his first draft will be completed real soon, and that draft is the anticipated sequel to The Batman Part 2. Now sure, you can say, well, that does not sound really like a lot, but there is also some news attaining to one Oswald Cobblepot. While we know he is back for the film in some scenes, but just a few, some extra new news is that his little show may be getting a season 2. Reeves mentioned an idea for a possible continuing plot that we'll see continue on Oz's journey as he continues to climb up to the very top. While no confirmation has been made as yet to the law, the idea of another new season is exciting, is it not? While I continue to wait and be excited to see what's to come of the series new, I'm all excited to see the return of Battinson and all the other additions too. And while I know it seems like there is not a lot to discuss, for the moment I say to wait and hope, because in Matt Reeves I trust. So what did you think of this little bit of news, and are you excited for the sequel and a possible season 2? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll respond down the line and let the conversation flow. As of the last of stories is a mixed match to choose, as this news story is the usual array of some casting news. So the ones for this week is really not an awful lot, as we have a confirmation and a rumor of one and that's all we got. So now if you may let me get to indulge and let this little discussion of some casting news be unfurled. The first is the confirmed and the sense of the concern, as this one saw the initial idea of a film take a sudden appeal of a turn. As a bit of while there has been a discussion of something that has been averse, and that has to do with a new live action film take of Masters of the Universe. As this one comes to the case discussion of an Imperator, as relates to the news of the casting of the villain known as Skeletor. As was announced for the roles like the blood sucked by a mosquito, this role of the character confirmed to be played by Jared Leto. So a lot of the interest has collectively has since been resented, as many have known that this man goes a little bit too deep into the method. Now many see a case his performance peaked and he's long past his prime, which is seen by lesser appealing roles like a certain clown, and of course it being Morbin time. I guess for the moment we will see how this goes, but the hope of it being great isn't clear right now, so who knows. The second and last one will bring a sense of some discussion to the consumer, as this one is not confirmed but is more of a casting rumor. Back to talk on heroes, and there's heroes unveiling we don't know when, but it's a talk on the MCU and the eventual team up of the X-Men. There are plenty of mutants to talk on, a lot of choice and array, but this discussion of a casting is for the Phoenix herself of Jean Grey. Now there is already one frontrunner, and I think is a decent choice, as the rumored casting of this character is with Stranger Things and Whale star Sadie Sink. I like the concept idea of going for a more youthful team, that even in all cases they could be led by one older Wolverine. It will feel more connected that they are coming into controlling their powers, that they can find the strength and focus to save the day in the final hour. Plus, the younger cast could provide a better appeal and long careers, as the actors could portray the character for many stories into the future years. As of right now, it is a rumor, so take it what you feel, but I think to be personally a good choice and something I could see as an ideal appeal. So what are your thoughts on these pair of casting news, and who would you choose for the choice of characters for these two? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and you can tell me right or wrong, but you can still let me know. And that is all that we have, so please do not feel blue, but that is all that we have for this week's news.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
And with all of that at the peak of the high moon, that is the end of this episode's Weird Mind Newsroom. Now I hope you enjoyed and had a little great time, and hopefully you had some fun appeal of me doing this all in rhyme. Now just for some little updates to bring some hopeful joy and cheer, that will be coming along very soon, some far and some near. We have more reviews on the way that will hopefully have a wider appeal, which some I hope will have your opinions on with how they make you feel. Of course, as you may say, I would not leave you too long waiting about, as a new review was just released all about a certain merc with a mouth. I hope with some energy that one last year-end double bill is what I got, as I hope to write, record and release reviews for Transformers and the Wild Robot. More like Wonka, Dune, Venom and more are on the way, I can report, as those reviews are in development and will vary on being both long and short. I know there is a lot of waiting, but there's a case of making sure it all sounds right, as much right and bright as I feel for my love for one dear Starlight. But many more are coming along, and gather my thoughts on them too, and some from some important people will be included into some of them too. Gameplay wise, currently it is the usual affair, more Last of Us, Mario and Cyberpunk on the way for me soon to share. We'll have more games planned in mind for the foreseeable future. What they may be is a mystery, so keep an eye on the computers. Of course as well, one thing that I haven't stepped along is also the release of the last 2 bits of the Hogwarts epilogue. So all of them are coming, so please don't feel like a fool, as more gaming is coming, because really, gaming is cool. Now lastly, the aspect is not much of any contest, but this is to do with a focus on more long form content. Those projects on AI and horror most bore are still happening and being developed, and they are a case of not being just ignored. Besides all of those others, there is also the rewatch-a-thon too, with some fixes and file elements that I hope to have part 1 of it out for you soon. More long form content will happen, but will follow on soon, as those ideas will come to mind and get made on some days and a few afternoons. Now I may be going on just a little bit too long. I think for now that's enough, so I'll try and do a bit of a wrap up on this one. Now of course I'll be back with a new one soon, but give me my thoughts and I'll discuss them down below too. Now I shall leave you right now, but just to say, you all stay being wonderful people and have a great day every day. And if you enjoyed all these videos and would like to see more, then a like and a sub will be a warmth to my core. And something nice of a present to get us to wait on the new year to arrive is that I hope to reach my goal of 100 subs by the start of 2025. We are 4 subs away, and it really would be sweet, as it would be a very nice surprise and a welcoming Christmas treat. But now I shall leave you all, but I will be back very soon. I hope you all enjoy the season and being festive, happy and cool. And given the season and its festive sight, I sign off and say Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.